What up, y'all? I'm Phathead, the music child, and I was born and raised in South Nashville, and basically got involved in music at a young age. That being, part of the culture where I grew up at. You know what I'm saying, amongst school and the home life, and got into doing, my own music and battle raps, and basically to sum it all off, kind of come up out of a street situation and learn and as y'all are about to learn over this 5-part series, there's a lot to my story, that I'd like to put out there. That way, if we can change one person in a good way, then we succeeded. So y'all stay tuned in on this 5-part series. Some good shit.
For sure, and he's definitely got a story to tell. I know just a little bit of it from knowing him, but then I found out, even more. And there's a lot that this man's been through and a lot that he's overcame in the last, his whole life. So it's definitely a good story, and I'm excited to see him rolling out new music because he was one of the major artists in the area back in the 2009, 2010 area, time frame when we were all doing stuff. We were clicked up doing shows. He was, a big part of that movement. So I'm just glad to see him back doing stuff.
I'm glad to be back.
Yeah, for sure. So if you want to start, man, just like you want to talk a little bit about, growing up and maybe how you got into rap music or just, stuff that you may have went through as a kid or just what you want to talk about?
Yeah, being born in Vine Hill Projects as basically a natural, zone for drug dealing and rap music and, everything that would happen amongst the poverty line area, and being raised in that, it was very common, to listen to rap and stuff. So it was a natural thing, but I really didn't realize the music was great until I was 7 years old. My dad had been in the penitentiary since 1985, and so he'd done been in there for about maybe 11 years, maximum security. So he had good time, and they shipped him to NCSC minimum security. They called it the farm. And when we went out there to visit, you could basically grill out on the yard and with your family that's visiting you and stuff. And one year they had a fall festival at the penitentiary where they set a stage up and a PA system. And I never forget, my dad was on the grill and they was up there playing, Kid and Play and LL Cool J, and we was up dancing on the stage, me and a couple other kids, and they handed the first kid the microphone, and they were probably a couple years older than I was. I was probably 7. They might have been about 13 or so, and they did a little rhyme with their name, and dude, they gave me the microphone, and I didn't know nothing but a G thing. So I sung that whole song and shook the fuck out of the penitentiary stage, rocked the whole crowd of inmates at 7 years old with a fucking Donatella sweater on, Ninja Turtle. Yeah, dude. Awesome. And it's so epic because, like, they had me come back the next year and perform Gin and Juice. It's crazy. I wished I could get a hold of the archives, dude.
That'd be something.
Because there is a newspaper clipping I seen when I was young. My dad had it.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing a damn Ninja Turtle sweater on, holding
what better thing for a 7-year-old to rock?
But I tell you, so with the divine intervention side is when I did nothing but a G thing the first time on the stage, it was natural. I didn't have time to think. So I was walking the stage and hyping the crowd and all the above to where when I come back and did Gin and Juice, I wouldn't move. I was in there popsicle stick like this right here. Dude, I was so nervous, dude. Yeah. But I still rocked it, and that's basically my first tap into music because I felt that outlet, coming from my background. A lot of kids don't have father figures and they don't have, any kind of positive structure to, teach these kids when they're growing up, to have a positive outcome in terms of living life in general. So, with music, it was my outlet. I knew early on, freestyling, at school and stuff like that, and then getting into battle raps and, stuff like that. It was a natural calling. Plus, it was my way of being able to vent and kind of, let my demons out, at that young age.
For sure. And you said that where you grew up at, you said, just so that people know on YouTube, was that Antioch Woodbine area?
Yeah, South Nashville, Woodbine is where I'm from. Yeah. And it's right before you get to Antioch. So basically, if you're coming out of downtown, that's from, 4th Avenue, Norrisville Road, out towards, Harding Place, getting into Antioch. So But yeah, the slumps of South Nashville
For sure.
come out batting at 1,000.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I mean, so you definitely started at a young age. So when did you get to the point where you started to think, hey, I want to? Did you write your raps, or was you just freestyling your raps that you was doing? Or?
So it's funny because I freestyled up until about 11 years old, and I pretty much owned it because by then I knew that's what the crowd pleaser was, and that's what I was known for already. So I'd already built a reputation. Well, there was a teacher named Miss Tidwell at Fall Hamilton when I was young. She used to help my mom out. She'd bring beds over, furniture if we didn't have it, for my brothers and stuff. And it turned out her daughter was at Wright Middle. And so I was coming out of alternative school into my 7th grade year, and her daughter was an English teacher. And she had caught wind of, me freestyling at the lunch tables and stuff like that. So she actually sit me down and told me who her mom was, and she was like, "You're really, gifted with words. Have you ever sit down and tried to write?" And I kind of just brushed it off.
Yeah.
So another year, 2 went by, and by then I was getting on the battle rap scene. And this is real battle rap, y'all. This ain't, and I ain't discounting what you see out there today, but these are no writtens. These are real deal battles straight off the top of your head. There is no pre-written shit. If you spit something written, that crowd will chew your ass up.
Yeah.
And we was young, so after going through that, I got to high school, and that's when the teacher there, Mr. Ellis, he finally sit me down and had me to write, taught me how to write. And from that point on, and just like I was telling you earlier when we was talking, I was scheming on words and metaphors and double and triple entendres back before it was a thing. Nobody even knew to address them as, with that lingo.
You were doing it, you just didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah, we knew what punchlines was, is what we called them, you know what I'm saying? But really, we was scheming, If you sit and talk about the microwave, baking in the oven, and caking in and out the fridge, eventually you're talking about the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? You're scheming that whole time.
Yeah.
So, I mean, basically, through that, I got to writing in high school, and that's when I really realized if I was already very fucking hard at spitting and freestyling, it's even better at writing. So once I wrote my first song, it was pretty much history. I knew right then and there what I would do, for life.